Now I'm going to show you the flow of the test. I structure the whole project as a modified page object model. The previous module show you how to get the REST API and mobile elements. However, this is very difficult to maintain. It's very rigid. It may break anytime. Right, I'll just explain the high level overflow. Okay. First of all, this is the these are all the different packages, right? And here this is the test scenarios. So in the test scenarios, so basically I will just set up the base class. That is where the desired capabilities are, and the rest of the configurations, right? For the test itself, we have actually greatly simplified it. These are the extend report. This way I'll get the reports. Okay, and this is where I will actually launch a page, get the permission, whether I allowed it to permission to access the device through. And in here, I will access the select the 24-hour forecast menu. And finally, I will actually compare the result, the 24-hour forecast result, and uh, write it in the reports and log it in the logger files. So you can see that these are actually something like a four-liner scripts, and it's very simple. So let's go to the other packages, right? So for these are the browser drivers. It actually define what are the type of drivers. These are the drivers managers, etc. Okay, right. In here, the config is where the configuration of the project. For example, in here we state the base test Android, so which is in here. So in the base test, I actually define the where I actually put the desired capability that's in the JSON file, and I said that this is actually Android. And I also define the page object model. I actually initialize the page object models, and this is also where I also get the I also define the extend test manager, right? The file name, so I will know where is the path for the report file name that I'm going to put. And finally, I will actually at the end of the test, I will actually close the driver and write the report. And also there's a logger, which I also indicate that this is the end of the test. Okay. So the configuration is where I will actually write the configuration for the project itself. Right. Some of it seems to be redundant, but they actually allow for expansion in the future. Okay. So these are where I actually log. It's a logger class. So comes down to next. It's a log element. This where I actually define all the strings. And this itself is the page object models, the page managers itself. They actually there are actually like 3 pages that we are actually testing right now, going through right now. So in here, that for example at the bottom bar is actually pretty simple. It's just detect all these things, and also I'll just set the loggers that I'm actually interacting with this, right, and which element I click onto, yeah, so on and so forth. I actually retrieve the temperature in here, right, and these are the report that will actually write the handles all the manager that handles the reports itself. So it will just, you can set whether it's a debug or there's an error, and finally you flush it out and write. And in here, this package REST API is where we actually specify the which we actually did it in uh, in the REST API session, I actually put this as a methods as a static strings, right? So in here, and this is the REST API manager that will handle all the request response data. Okay. This is the utilities, which will handle the splitting of the strings, and finally this is the validation. So the validation parts will actually uh, write it to the loggers and to the report. It will do all the comparison for example for the compare 24 hours if you remember, okay, which is in here. Yeah, you'll just come down here and then uh, you'll start comparing the REST API and then with the front end elements. So and once you get it, uh, you actually write it in the report, the report itself, and that's what it does. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, there are two ways of running it. I just created is through either by the command prompt Maven, or let's run it through the Eclipse itself. Okay, so you go through a flow, come here and go to the 24 hours, and that's it. It's done. It'll close. So alright, and the results are, let's get the results out. Okay, so right, so these are the report itself, right? You show the app launch and then the 24 hours. If there's error, you just flush out where is the error for the API, which API actually fails. Okay, and then for the loggers itself, let's see. Right, let's go to here. Right, so you write to this. Yeah, so this is where you actually write on the log. Yeah, it's pretty simple. We can actually expand it. Yeah, and yeah, so that's about it. On a high level flow. Let me. I'm actually pleased to showcase this, and let me know if you've got any question. And this is Ivan speaking. I hope to hear from you again.